Is it going, baby? Huh? Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. Hit the wrong button. All right. Posted. Like a post-it note. Oh, better get my Bible, hadn't I? I gotta have a Bible. Yeah. I got me a brand new one. Big one with big old words so that I can see it. Well, last week we wasn't in the Sermon on the Mount. We were over yonder. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I plan on doing it again. Talk about many, many things. I don't know, I guess this is teaching, that over there is conversation. So we need both. You know, we got to have that atmosphere where, you know, we can learn, but at the same time we can discuss. And I think that is so needed, especially in, you know, I fail to bring about words to tell you, but you know, how could I say this without producing a lot of fear? We could face a lot of chaos ahead of us. You know, Jesus warned them in Matthew 24. Matthew 24 wasn't the end of time, so to speak. It was the end of the temple and that time frame for the Jews. And we can use that and learn from that because of what happens when empire begins to crumble. So it is, you know, I think in the Old Testament, one of the writers says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Without a vision, the people perish. My people are destroyed for lack of understanding. I think that's how it goes. But we had began with the Beatitudes, and you know, we should let that one constantly roll around in our mind. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who don't have a clue. Just keep that in mind. Thank God for that, because, you know, that was all of us. And then we looked at these two metaphors that Jesus uses to describe the life that grace begins to create within us, this salt and life. And personally, I kind of think these images, as familiar as they are, still carry within them a lot of meaning, just waiting to be mined, you know, a salt mined. And I love that. Because I can tell you this as a warning, if you will. That's maybe too strong of a word, but just when you think you have a verse in the Bible figured out, you are only at the beginning of that verse. It means so much more. So much more. And if you remember how important salt is, it was used to preserve food. It was used to make things taste better. When Jesus says you're the salt of the earth, this was an image that really hit home in that ancient world. You know, we use that word in the Marine Corps. I don't know if Tim used it in the Air Force, but for some old veterans, we would call them salty. And I can pretty much tell you where that come from, because the Army has some cold weather bases, but the Marine Corps generally doesn't have too many cold weather bases. We have to piggyback on other people's. And I think the Marine Corps bases, like Okinawa, and I was never there, but just Parris Island and down the north, it's hot. And you wear your cover. To you civilians, y'all would call it a hat, but to us good, proper military people, these are called covers. They cover your grape. This is your grape. Or your gourd, depending on what branch of service you're in. Me, this was a grape. Got to cover the grape. And all the sweat, you would see it coming out into that. You've been there a long time, you get this ring around, and we would say they're salty. Their camis or their fatigues are faded and worn out. They're salty. So this image means a lot to me, more than just putting something on you. French fries. You are the salt of the earth. You're here to bring out the best, to bring out the God flavors in the world. You're here to make everything taste a little bit better. And along with that, salt also preserves what is good. And salt covenants, we went over that. They have this long storied history that we kind of dipped our toes in the last time. But the basic idea is this: if we're the salt of the earth, then we are part of the promise of God's continued commitment to fidelity and investment, promise to preserve the world. Now, there's one more small thing.